Good morning, good afternoon, distinguished guests, colleagues, and friends. On behalf of the Metropolitana Autonomous University and our partner, Strategies of Adaptation to Climate Change, we welcome you to the International Congress on Climate Change. Today, we are honored to receive the architect Dong Wan, the Director General at Turenscape and Deputy Director of Nature-Based Solutions Innovation Center at Peking University. His keynote, Sponge Planet, Nature-Based Solution for Global Climate Resilience, pays tribute to the visionary legacy of Dr. Kongjen Yu, whose sponge city philosophy has transformed how the world imagines water-sensitive and resilient urban landscape. Dr. Wan's leadership continues this legacy at global scale, advancing interventions that restore ecosystems, protects communities, and turns cities into living infrastructures capable of absorbing, storing, and reusing water. With that, it is my pleasure to invite our session moderator, Ambassador Daniel Dulcin, Director General of the NGO Strategies of Adaptation to Climate Change, to introduce our keynote speaker and guide today's discussion. Daniel, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Fabiola. It's such an impressive honor and simultaneity, of everything that's happening down. Such a great thing to be together after the shock of the disappearance of our dearest professor. I'm so pleased to introduce Dong, with which we have the honor of having established a very great communication of understanding and everything. We're so great to have you. Thank you so much for accepting Dong. Dong, as education, he won his bachelor's degree in landscape architecture at Beijing Forestry University. You will correct me, Dong, please.
Yeah.
And a master's degree in geography with a specialization in landscape design from Peking University, where Kongjen Yu, Professor Yu, created the faculty, and I understand you were among the students that Dr. Yu had created. No, you were there. You were one of the beneficiaries, Dong. This academic background provides Dong with a strong theoretical foundation in urban planning and landscape design. Dong has built his career primarily at Turenscape, and he currently serves as the General Director of the EcoCity Design Center, and he's recognized as an urban planner in China National Register and holds the title of Senior Engineer and Senior Designer at Turenscape, reflecting his professional certifications and expertise in urban and landscape planning. Beyond his role at Turenscape, Dong is also active in academia. He serves as Deputy Director of the Nature-Based Solutions Innovation Center at the College of Architecture and Landscape in Peking University, where he contributes to research and the promotion of sustainable design approaches. Specialized in the sponge city concept and landscape architecture, he has led nearly 100 projects across multiple scales, including regional ecological planning, urban master plans, urban design, and landscape projects in China and abroad. And as we will see, and you will find out, the selected projects are just amazing. Thank you, dear maestro. We're waiting to start real serious master classes with you. Be welcome. The floor is yours, dear Dong.
Thank you so much, Daniel, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, Fabiola. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, very well.
Yes. Next half of hour, I will play Professor Yu memorial video of 5 minutes. Then I will give you like 20 minutes presentation. Is that okay?
Thank you very much. I am Jose Luis Cortez from Mexico as well.
Yes, it's okay.
Wow.
Jose Luis, welcome.
Thank you so much. So glad to meet you again.
Well, my great friend Konjan Yu. I admire him very much. And I
Yeah.
send my deep condolences to all Turnscape and to his family. We are with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So I'll
Thank
start.
you. Yes, we see it all right, Dong. We see all your screen perfectly all right. Please.
Okay.
Perdón.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Professor Kong Jianyu's passing is a huge loss for all of us. And his groundbreaking work in negative planning, in ecological planning, and his climate adaptive, nature-based approaches to ecological restoration have been successfully used in over 250 cities, and they have helped countless individuals. The next 20 minutes, I'll be sharing an overview of method and practice of Professor Kong Jianyu and Turnscape, that is a sponge city, or even thinking The Sponge Planet is nature-based holistic solutions inspired by ancient wisdom, by monsoon culture to face the global climate resilience. In his final paper published in Nature Water, he said, and I quote, "The planet is in crisis. Only bold, new thinking can save it." You can see the
Excuse me.
Yeah.
We are looking at the screen, but it's the image is overgrown. We're not looking at we're only looking at a part because the screen is maybe it's all right. No, I'm sorry. It's only me. I'm terrible. So go on, please.
We can
Thank
see
you.
very well, Daniel. We can see very well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you can see from here, the entire planet is boiling, and the 1.5 degrees Celsius temperature control target set by the Paris Agreement has already been breached. And as we all know, we are facing increasingly severe challenges caused by climate change globally. Flood, drought, the wildfire, and the sea level rise is predicted to threaten many of our most densely populated regions. Just to look at this data, $7 trillion invested every year is nature negative. Harmful subsidies is 1.7 trillion, which including carbon-centered solutions, by the way, and gray infrastructure, concrete flood wall, concrete sea wall, dams, only it's $0.5 trillion. But nature-based solution, which means nature-positive solution, it's only $0.2 trillion invested. So global-wise, we have no hope if there's no change, if we follow the same track. Let's see some challenges. Mitigation. Building more and more wind turbines, solar panels. They look green, but not necessarily sustainable. In America alone, every year, wind turbines kill 5 million birds, not to come to other parts of the world. Hydropower is green? No, not sustainable. Look at this picture. And the adaptation, $1.7 trillion investment from ADB, from the World Bank, from AIIB, as I mentioned. These are the solutions we are still doing. We are still building this kind of walls in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in India, in Mexico, trying to protect the city from being flooded. We're still channelizing the river, building higher and higher dams, very myopic. They will fail and fail with disaster. You can see last year in Kenya and in Brazil, and this is in China. Meanwhile, they produce 8% of carbon emissions. We all talking about nature-based solutions, planting trees, restore wetlands, all nature-based solutions. But we only have $0.2 trillion, remember? And we have so many things to do. So we need to find a key. But where is the key? Gray infrastructure. They are basically colonized by gray infrastructure. They are basically colonized by these technologies, colonized everywhere. 80% of the global south actually use the same infrastructure, but facing totally different kind of climate. We call it a monsoon-like climate. Flood, drought every year. So that's a survival issue. Beyond that, it's not just local flood. More than 40% of the sea level rise actually caused by the water we drain to the ocean from the land, and the drop of the groundwater, the drainage of the flood, and the disappear of wetland. So, if we can keep the water on the land, feeding the aquifer, we might be able to solve about half of the problem. That's why we need a new solution, which we called Sponge Planet. It's an upgraded version of Sponge City. It's a land-based, water-driven, holistic solution. Its philosophy is to retain water at the source, slow down the flow, and embrace water, be adaptive at the sink. It's totally opposite to the conventional gray infrastructure. And this new infrastructure is nature-based, which is critical for securing ecosystem services and can be woven together, can be integrated with gray infrastructure, and water is a key. And this new infrastructure must be planned across scales, from national territory to regional to local, all the way to the specific site. So it must be dealt systematically. And what technology can do this new infrastructure? We have very primitive nature-based technology, which is we call agriculture. We have 1,000-year agriculture history, but those are inefficient, primitive. Then we replace it. We counterize this with, we call it efficient industrial technology, sewage treatment system, concrete, steel pipe system. And what is nature-based ecological infrastructure? We got inspirations. Yeah, these inspirations come from monsoon culture. Remember, the most part of the world is actually under influenced already for hundreds of thousands of years. This kind of climate change experience, like the farmers. This is a Chinese farmer. You can see we terracing slope up on the mountain 2,000 meters above the sea level. This picture is from Yunnan province in southwest China, and cultivate the mush in the delta area by pounding, diking, islanding. We create a sustainable living environment for hundreds of thousands of years. This is Yangtze River Delta in Xinhua City. And when we look at these cities, certainly we can live with water. We did a study of about 100 cities and towns that have 200 years of flood and drought in Yellow River Basin. The city can be like this, you see. But certainly we call it the primitive nature-based solution. But now we have new technologies, new science. So we develop and upgrade this traditional wisdom, this nature-based primitive technology into replicable design engineering modules with scientific method and proof, and apply them to modern ecological engineering in large scale. That's what our team did in past 28 years, such as terracing, pounding, diking, islanding, that can transform the global surface at speed and fast and inexpensive. For the past 28 years, Tourscape has tested and built over 1,000 projects in more than 250 cities. These projects benefit species, people, and the planet by supporting adaptation, mitigation, and societal transformation. The following are three principles. First principle is retention at the source. This one is in Sanya City in Hainan Island. This is a sponge city master plan for the city to see where the flood could happen. Water is not greedy. It don't need that much of land. So why fight with water? Wherever water and city conflict, those are the areas we need to fix, like acupuncture. You can see, minimal intervention, and our solution were quite simple. Terracing the slope, pounding the ground, and islanding the water, the lake. Yeah. You can see this is in process, and this is today. We create a sponge that can not only regulate water, but also serve as a beautiful park. This is in before. You can see flood, drought, and this is now. The whole area is becoming a CBD for the whole city. You can see here in before how much flood took over the city. People complained. The property value downgraded. 5 years later, you can see here the city get developed on this area, and the flood problem gets solved. And during the heavy storm of 16 inches per day last year, the park soaked up all the rainwater like a giant sponge, keep the city from being flooded, and people could still use the park because of the skywalk. Another example is Banjakiti Forest Park, located right in the middle of Bangkok City, facing serious problem of urban inundation and water pollution. Our team has restored and transformed the site from the former tobacco factory into a lower maintenance urban oasis just in 18 months from design to construction, even during the COVID-19 pandemic. What we did is quite simple solution, porous and spongy. Through on-site cut and fill, we reshape the topography and create a wetland and tree islands, interweaving the blue and green together. It can be even created by one machine very fast. You can see this is in process, and this is today. Now, it can not only retain up to 200,000 cubic meters of stormwater, but also purify more than 8,000 cubic meters of water from the poorest grade 5 to grade 3 per day. As a place for people, the park with multi-layer public spaces among this urban nature attract tens of thousands of visitors daily for a variety of activities. And the birds come back to the city. More than 200 species of birds have been observed in just 1 year. And the park was even constructed by the army instead of skilled landscape workers due to an urgent schedule and COVID pandemic. But because of our simple solutions, the soldier could still build the park very well, altogether 18 months. And the second principle is slow down the flow. It's totally against the conventional grid infrastructure. This image shows the traditional river flood wall designed to drain the water away as quickly as possible. We have transformed it into a sponge repairing zone, slowing down the water to reduce the impact of disaster downstreams, while also recharging the aquifer. By the way, this is in Jinhua City, Professor Yu's hometown. The same idea, gray to green. This case, Meishu River in Haikou City. You can see before the severe water pollution inundation. For past 20 years, the government tried to fix it through conventional solutions, channelizing, dredging the river, concrete flood wall, but failed. As an alternative, the solution is dechannelize it, naturalize it, turn gray to green, remove all the concrete, terracing the ground, purify the urban runoff, recover the habitat, introducing the idea of a sponge river corridor. It's a whole infrastructure. You can see we transform the whole river, 20 kilometers long, dechannelize the river. That's today. And habitat get recovered by recycling the concrete to create islands. This is a nature-based sewage treatment system. You can see the powerful nature. We need make use of that. And we also have the performance test. 85% of the nitrogen and phosphorus can be removed by the nature process. Such kind of embankment can reduce peak flow and more than half of the flow at the basin's outlets. The maximum daily peak reduction rate can reach around 60%. So imagine how much can be changed if nature-based solution is to be implemented worldwide. The third principle is embrace water to be adaptive at the sink. Don't fight with water. This is a project in Sanya City, a tropical island in China. Sea level is rising, so we build higher and higher concrete wall to protect the city from ocean surge. Our solution is totally opposite. We actually convince the local mayor, the decision maker, to demolish this wall. That is a sight you can see, terrible for the people and biodiversity. So instead, we let the salt water and fresh water meet here, creating a brackish habitat made of interlocked, finger-shaped landform following the wind and tidal pattern to speed up the nature process of mangrove rehabilitation. That is a process when water coming become twisted and replaced slowly, it become friendly. And that's today. You can see the habitat for birds on one side and other side for people to use. And how to transform conventional seawall into breathing seawall. This case in Haikou City, you can see here, after the seawall was built, the original habitat with beautiful vegetation got destroyed. That's because when you build the wall, the wave flip over the wall and the salinity kills the vegetation and also enforce the erosion process. So the opposite is to create a breathing seawall, a breathing coastal line, to let the water come back to the ocean, enabling the salinity exchange. So you have to remove the top concrete wall. This is the process of how this wall can be built. The concrete wall being transformed into a breathing, permeable structure. This is before and this is after. You can see it become a beautiful, breathing, living wall. And it's not just a wall, it's a whole system. You can see here the formal stream farm being transformed into diverse habitats fostering mangrove and native species. Moreover, the nature system can catalyze urban development. You can see here, the nature system become the protectors of the city rather than gray infrastructure. A brand new urban district is rising rapidly. Just in last year, it successfully withstood the impact of the super typhoon Yagi when the conventional seawall was almost fully destroyed. Our breathing seawall remains in good condition. That is the power of nature-based climate adaptation. More than ever, we need a new infrastructure for heating the planet and save the cities through the practice of sponge city and even the sponge planet, which is a holistic nature-based solution to harvest the nature's free services to heal our common planet and benefit welfare of people. And that's Professor Yu's legacy, and that's the work our team had done in the past and what we will continue to do. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dong. Fantastic. Really, congratulations, Dong. You've given us the young version of Tunescape, full of hope and vitality. Great, great presentation. I tell you, really, you inject vitality and hope. I congratulate you very much. As you know, we have asked your dear friends of Congyan, those that have been able to join us, to be here with us. And of course, First Ladies, and not only because Amayali is lady, because she just recently was with you. So Amayali, please, can you start giving your congratulations, whatever you want to tell Dong that you know so well. If you're here, Amayali, with us.
Hello, Dong.
Yeah,
Can
hello.
you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, perfect.
We are really happy for this new phase for Turenscape and for you too. And we really hope this new phase integrate very big consolidate a relationship between Turenscape and the Mexican government.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Amayali. Thank you. We certainly have advanced a lot. Many things to show you after her trip to Peking. That for those that don't know, there is a video of Amayali presenting the advancement, the presentation of the methodologies for the three rivers with Dong and with Professor Yu. Fantastic seance. And Amayali has learned everything, and now she would love to tell you what she has developed. And Eugenio, would you like to follow Amayali? Eugenio was with Congyan so much during his trip, and he created this wonderful meeting at the Conagua, all the executives telling Eugenio, if they can do it in China, why can't we? Can we, Eugenio?
Well, thank you very much, Dan, Professor Dan, for the presentation. It's always amazing to see what you're doing in China. It's really a great example for everybody. And of course, honoring Professor Kong Yu. Yeah, well, I just share with you, I would like to share with you the experience we had with Kongyan here some years ago when he arrived, and we spent 2 very exciting days talking and exchanging ideas about some feasible solutions for the valley of Mexico City Valley. And it was really nice to be with him in Xochimilco, in the Ecoducto. Alejandro Alba is here, and he was with us there. And at the end of the visit, we have a very nice and very interesting meeting at Conagua. Professor Konjan Yu met many officials at Conagua, and I remember he was answering many questions, and everybody was really impressed because the experiences that he at the time that he has developed in China. And I remember some of the Conagua people say, well, but here in Mexico, we have very big cities. And he said, well, in China, we have larger cities than in Mexico. But here in Mexico, we have a desert in a very dry area. And he said, well, here in China, we also have very dry areas. So he has an example for every question and cases that the people was presenting to them, and was very nice experience. So thank you very much for your presentation, and well, we hope to follow your projects and your experience, the experiences you will have in the next years.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hopefully you will meet soon, Dong, on your next visit to Mexico, hopefully.
I hope so, yeah.
Yes. Carlos Galindo was wonderful when he created such a beautiful text. He's a genius of communication and top ecologist. Carlos, would you like to give you some words to Dong? Wonderful encounter he had with Kongyan.
Yes, of course, Daniel. Hello, Dong. It's a pleasure to meet you, as it was a pleasure to meet Kongyan Yu in Daniel's house and then in other places. And well, my background is ecology, and I was very impressed because during the pandemic, I started studying about wetlands and wetland restoration in the United States. And I learned a lot about succession, plant succession, and all these different theories that are dealt in that school. But when I met Kongyan Yu, I saw that it was a very different approach. Kongyan's approach was working with water, working with the flow, and the flow selects the plants, not the people. And that was really changed my mind. It really impressed me, the speed of restoration, which I think gives us hope to everyone that you can do things fast, that you don't have to wait 20 years or 50 years. So it really changed the way I see now the restoration projects and problems, because thanks to meeting Kongyan Yu, I got this idea of hope that things can be restored, that it can be done fast, and it can be done at a large scale. So it's really, I mean, it was great to be with him, to go and have dinner I had with Eugenio and Daniel. And thank you, Daniel, for inviting us to share that time with Kongyan Yu, which really made us think and see this new way of doing things, working with water, and looking at ancient systems that have worked for many thousands of years. And we have that opportunity here because we also have ancient systems that can be used to improve the environment. So I will never be the same now after meeting this innovative approach. And thank you for your talk. It's really impressive. I just love seeing the projects, the scale, the speed of change, and the beauty. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias, Carlos. And the surprise is we have with us Alejandro Alba, that he was the creator of the El Ecoducto, where Congian de Eugenio was mentioning he took us. Are you here with us, Alejandro? He's been teaching the lessons on the theory of Professor Yu since 2012, 13.
Wow.
Much before, yeah. Are you here with us, Alejandro?
Yes, I am here. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let me share you something. Something is so nice. Is the simple word that I can say to Konjanju is sheshe. Sheshe Konjanju. And that's I put it there because I put in the same, the word that it is. Your eyes is closed now. For the other rest is night to open it. That's the thing. I teach here Konjanju before I met him, and I teach this. This article I teach them. This is a joke from here in Mexico. We put it in Chinese, and I said, "Oh, you can understand this," and anybody understand that. And I explained that wetlands, how they do this, and then explain all the work from my students before I met Konjanju. I explained this. This is especially imagine, and that happened here in the university in Mexico, and that's great because we understand that in Mexico we have lakes and rivers, but this is because in Mexico City disappeared a huge lake, and I understand and I put it in action that we have to learn from the past, and the past is all the thing that we don't have to do in the future. To destroy wetlands is not a good idea. So we translate in the past to understand what we lost, and the wetlands that we used to have. There's trying to teach about the Xochimilco, that we had a lot of wetlands, the traditional, the culture. I don't mean the natural based solution. No, natural based solution and culture is have to do. And Konjan, you have this meeting. So that meeting is about Xochimilco. Xochimilco have the opportunity to learn about wetlands is Xochimilco, wetland is Chinampas, and that is we take Konjanju to this place, and they really enjoy this. They take picture of this. That we explain that you don't have to make a lot of huge area to make a huge. The small is beautiful, and that's it. We learn. I go to China. It's a terrific city, and I understand how to clean polluted water to clean water with plants, and that we learn. And Konjanju teach me how to do it in a huge way, and we understand that you can put this in the city, and that's we have that to learn. We have learned it. We know the teaching. We learned it, and I to try to put it here in Mexico, and that's it. And that is, I said, share to Konjanju and share now to all tourist states that it's going to be changed everything, and it's going to be a good, great, interesting meeting here.
Thank you for sharing.
You will meet Alejandro when you come to Mexico. Certainly you have many tours around. Jose Luis Cortez, our great master, that Congian called Professor, where is Professor, that he presented himself at the beginning. You have some words for Don.
Yeah, thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Well done. As you know, when I was dean of the School of Architecture at Ibero-American University, I invited, more than 10 years ago, I invited Tonjan to give as a keynote speaker at our certificate program on sustainable development and sustainable communities. And he was fantastic, very successful. And since then, we kept a very close relation. I visit China with Daniel, and I had the pleasure to go and see several of your projects of Studentscape. And for me, all what has happened, it has been very touching, and it's the great master that we lost, but we hope that we can still, in his memory, keep working together, for this planet. And I congratulate you and all the members of Turnscape for the work that you have been doing. And I send all his family a big hug. And we keep in touch. You have a house in Mexico. Konjan, you was in my house once, so
you will love it. You will love it. Say yes, yes. Thank you.
come to Mexico again.
Gracias, José Luis. And last but not least, although I will be last but not least, our dear Fabiola. Fabiola.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Don. I really celebrate that you will continue the legacy of Konjan, and we
course.
hope that we can strengthen our collaboration between Turnscape
Yeah.
and Mexico. Your leadership symbolizes the next chapter of Turnscape, and definitely I'm convinced that you will expand the Sponge Planet vision beyond cities and to reach the whole planet. And when we organized this International Congress on Climate Change, we did it with the objective of honor the memory and legacy of Professor Konjanju, who was a visionary and who asked us to discuss and reflect and change the relationship that we have with nature and with water through his work. And with all his work, he proved us that cities can again become living ecosystem capable of absorbing water and restoring ecological balance that sustains life. And all the people that is here, we choose life and we try to change ecosystems that are degraded to make them life ecosystems again. So I want to express my deepest support and confidence on you, Dong, and you as a leader that will continue the visionary work initiated by Dr. Konjanju. You count on us, and we will support you in everything that we can. Thank you, Dong.
Thank you.
Dong. And to give you time, just very quickly, we created this flyer as a proposal: make the planet great again, vote Sponge Planet. A friend of Konjan, FM in Brazil, is with us. He's looking at us. He sends his regards. He's in YouTube. He asked me to do so. He's an architect. He's going to put it in the G30. You will meet Fabiola with him, he told me. Make sure you meet together. We're looking for the ex-Prime Minister of New Zealand. Hopefully Fabiola will see her. She would be a great leader for the Sponge Planet. And she will be there at the G30. Will you be going, Dong, to the G30?
Yeah, I will go to you mean the COP
Brazil.
30? Yeah. I will go Brazil.
The COP, not the G30. So it would be great if we can arrange, maybe you can tell us what your program is, so we can arrange if you can meet with Fabiola and with maybe the ex-Prime Minister of New Zealand. It would be great.
No problem. I'll email you.
Good. And I just want to have your reaction. We will talk about later. If we can. We're putting it. ¿Lo pusiste? Anyway, we'll see.
Wonderful.
It's there. If we can have your reaction to the idea of joining forces everywhere with a world network that Turnscape and Konjan and now you have, of creating a prize and to get projects for the Sponge Planet. You remember Blanca Jimenez, she was going to do a specific sanitation program for the Sponge Planet, no? And things like this. So maybe you haven't had time to think with everything that has happened to you in the last days. Anyway, the floor is yours, Dong, to tell us whatever you want.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for all the care and support. It means a lot for me and for our team. As you already know, sponge planet, the concept first invented by the Professor Kong Jianyu, already expressed in many countries. And I will go to Brazil next in November, in middle November for COP30, and the University of Rio will establish Kong Jianyu Institute to lead the and participate in the sponge planet and practice in Brazil, and I think that's a great news for his legacy. Yeah, thank you for all the care and support again. Means a lot for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Well, so we say goodbye, Fabiola.
Goodbye, and
everyone.
thank you everyone for joining us and for supporting this session in memory of Kong Jianyu, and let's work for his legacy to continue.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
再见。
再见. Hope to see you in person soon.
Hope to see you too.
Good luck.